Welcome back folks, you made it to the final part of this recap series. The long journey to escort Mia to her village wasn't just boring carriage rides. They didn't forget to have little feasts and enjoy the scenery. Sato complimented the girls about their cooking, sounding like, "Wow, you girls make great wives someday." But Sato noticed Mia is avoiding meat dishes, thinking she's a picky eater. Mia's like, "No meat, it's yuck." Then he was told elves don't eat meat, only veggies. On the other hand, Pochi and Tama are all about meat to the point of no meat no life. Sato noticed Lisa doing some cooking to eat later, and he's like, "That's smart." But he wondered how she gonna keep it during the carriage ride. Then Arisa arrived, she's like, "I'll take it from here," and told Sato about storage magic, which is entirely different from his game-like storage thingy. Arisa's spell costs some MP, unlike Sato's item storage. Arisa warned him not to overuse though, cause it would squeeze out all his mana otherwise. Then Sato thought, hey, I should mess around with my storage sometimes. He realized this world isn't so bad after all. Before they take off, Sato assigns the chores to the gang, like taking care of horses and loading stuff to the carriage and stuff like that. But then Sato glanced at Mia, thinking, well, she's looking good, after all that she has been through, but he couldn't shake off the feeling of something bothering her. Arisa arrived there, talking about retouching the straw seat cushions, complaining about the straws in M kept poking at their bottoms. So on to the mission, fixing all the cushions to protect their bottoms. Everyone gathered around, Arisa started teaching how to do the basic sewing. Then Sato suggested adding a layer of leather to seating cushions, so the straws wouldn't poke out. But Arisa got surprised cause the leather stuff is so pricey, but Sato's like, "I don't want everyone's bottoms to get scratched up cause I'm going cheap." Arisa, like always, being a freak, joked that their back wouldn't be soft for him to touch anymore if they got scratched like that. Then Sato, being a cheater like always, maxed up his sewing skills, showing off to everyone of his inhuman sewing skills. But he forgot to knot the end of the thread, making Arisa mad to the point of screaming. He realized skills are one thing but common sense is another. Soon enough they finished fixing all the seating cushions. Sato's ultimate skill allowed him to master the sewing craft and acquire the skill of doll making. Girls gathered around to check out new toys, but Nana rushed there to ask permission to have that little duck doll to herself. She's like, "It's so cute and fluffy," and Sato had no choice but to give in. In the end, he had to make dolls for everyone. A bunny for Mia, a tiny Tama doll for Pochi, and a petite Pochi doll for Tama. But then he felt jealous glares directed towards him, making him realize, if I don't make one for everyone, there's gonna be hell to pay. Their adventure keeps rolling, trekking through country roads until the next stop. Watching Tama and Pochi playing around, having the time of their life, Sato decides to relax for a while. He checked the status of the horses and asked Lisa, "Let's just chill for a while." But Sato is still concerned about Mia, who's having a little tired mood. He noticed some weird rocks piled around the corner, and gathered up Pochi and Tama to let M investigate that. He's like, "Conduct a full and thorough search on those ruins." They were overjoyed and dashed towards it, and Arisa followed M thinking it's fun. After they left, he noticed Mia and Nana from a distance. Mia busts out her leaf music skills. Sato approached M, complimenting her. She blushed and smiled for the first time on this journey. Nana asked Princess Mia to teach her how to play a leaf like that, but she didn't like to be called a princess. So Sato asked Nana not to address her like that. Then Mia's crash course on how to play a leaf began. Everyone else gathered around, trying their best, only to let out weird noises instead of any music. When Sato tried it, he let out an embarrassing noise, getting everyone's pitied looks. So naturally he tried cheating again using his skill points, but that didn't help him at all. Arisa complimented him saying, "Dude, you sound like a dying mouse in a mousetrap." Mia couldn't hold it anymore and snatched the leaf away from him to avoid any casualties. To add salt to the wound, Lulu tried consoling him, making it more awkward. Then Arisa dragged him away to show him what they found on those ruins. He was shocked to realize it was a Japanese stone torii, but he couldn't figure out how in the world there's a stone torii in this fantasy world. Arisa, being a reincarnator, concludes there must have been a Japanese shrine here. Sato got deja vu seeing it, like, man, I've seen this before, but where? At that moment, some hidden memory awakened inside him, a goddess-like girl calling him by his real name Ichiro. and promising him that we'll be together until the end of time. Then he realized it's his childhood friend and the shrine is the one near to his grandpa's house. The girl was mumbling, "The lifespan of gods and humans are so different, and in order for them to be together, they need divine intervention." Then he remembered the girl is doing Kagura dance, a dance dedicated to a goddess who fell in love with a mortal human. But he was disrupted by Arisa and got back onto reality. Then another crucial fact came to his mind. None of those memories happened in real life, and he remembered about making a game related to that shrine. Then he decided to head back to others where Pochi waiting for M with a prey. Tama also arrived with a rocket wolf cub, but Arisa wanted to cuddle it a bit. However, it woke up and ran away, putting Tama in a bad mood. Arisa hurriedly consoles her with some pancakes from her storage, but they were gone cold cause her storage magic spell isn't capable of time freeze. Sato realized that his item box is far more advanced than hers. Discovering some magic books in his inventory got from defeating Zen the Undead King, he started his mission to create and mess around with magic. Being a former programmer, it wasn't that hard for him, but while he was so concentrated on it, his hand was doing something unholy to Nana. It awakened the wrath of the other girls, especially Arisa. As they continue the journey, some ratmen pop up in Sato's map. He realized it could be the friends of Misei, the Were-Rat warrior. He was right on the mark, and it was a touching reunion. Later, Sato wanted to try the spell he created before and seek Mia's help with it, and of course, succeeded with the bubble bath spell. At night, while keeping watch, Sato's magic experimenting urges couldn't be contained. He did some experiments on his storage skills, how it can store items without touching, his ability to sort out components, temperature handling, and stuff. So he stored that night's leftover food and gave them to others as reheated on next morning. They continued the journey and ran into all the other Were-Rat knights. They arrived at a grave for Were-Rat warriors who died protecting Mia. Mia prays and guides all their souls to the next life. A few days later, they arrived in a new city, but their first experience was witnessing a town guard mistreating a helpless man. He even gave an evil eye to Sato, and Lisa reminded him that he's the same guy who tried to snatch away some monster cores from them a while back. Sato couldn't leave that injured man as it is and quickly gave him a healing potion which is considered very expensive. Arisa's like, "Whoa there buddy, those potions aren't cheap." So Sato's like, "No worries, I'll DIY it." Now he set a new goal for his life. Let's master alchemy and learn to make potions. He started working on it soon after, surprising Arisa with being so multi-talented. Following instructions, he made a fever reduction potion at first. Then he used that potion, some elixir, and MP and transmuted it to create a low-grade HP recovery potion. Then it's time for cheating. He maxed out his transmutation skill and made a high-grade HP recovery potion. However, it was noted that magic potions must be stored in a specialized vial, or the potion will degrade over time. There he noticed some kinda special magic circle under the vial. So he's like, this gotta be the trick. He's so pumped up on alchemy, but the ingredients ran out. So no more alchemy for today. Instead he's gonna mess around with magic tool creation at night. Introducing magic item number 1. But it's just a mana eater. The only thing it does is emitting a light, going in round and round, disappointing Arisa. When Sato tried it out, it exploded due to excessive mana, panicking all the other girls. Continuing their travel, Sato noticed there's many blank spots on his map, which doesn't happen often. He wanna explore them just in case, better safe than sorry. They arrived at Nuki City. Heading to pick up alchemy supplies at the alchemy shop, they ran into some suspicious dude with heavy luggage. Talking with the lady in the shop, he learned that monster cores can be traded for magic scrolls, but then again, it's illegal to buy and sell monster cores. Moreover, all the potion vials had been purchased by the person before. He bought some elixirs and asked Lisa to go back to others, even though she insisted on staying with him. At night, Sato's secret mission commenced. First, he disguised himself and used his monster cores to trade with some magic scrolls. Then he acquired the magic in them: shield, sonar, signal, and blow. Mission objective: explore the blank areas in the map and ensure the safety of others. Once preparations done, he heads to one of those blank areas. As he advanced forward, at some point, he crossed over some kinda barrier, and the map finally cleared and revealed it's the Forest of Illusion. He was lil disappointed though, cause it didn't really look that illusionish. But there wasn't any time to relax, some group approaching him in a fast pace. Soon after he was attacked by iron golems and with earth magic. But for Sato, these are just child's play. He kept insisting he doesn't want to fight and he'd just leave, but the girl ain't the type to listen, and kept on throwing spells at him. But all of them just crushed easily by Sato. He's like, let's talk things over, but the girl's just too naive. At that moment a giant bird landed on top of that girl, and the witch in charge of the forest emerged. She kneeled and welcomed Sato into the forest. Turns out that lil girl from before is the witch's apprentice Inanimana. Both of them apologized to him and assumed Sato is the emissary of the Bolanan clan cause of the bell he got from Misei as thanks. So, he's like, I ain't no emissary, just your average merchant. They mentioned about a pact with the Count Kahano in the area. It's simple. In exchange for keeping outlaws, hunters and other troubles out of the forest, they deliver 300 vials of special potions twice a year. Witch even went as far as teaching Sato the recipe for that special potion, but in return, he got to deliver some letter to the giant of that forest. On his return trip, Witch casted spell revealing the true nature of the Forest of Illusions. Sato couldn't help but to take back the previous statement about the forest. When he's back, Arisa throws a tantrum, thinking he must have been messing around with girls the whole night. He wanted to get some vials and met up with a potter, but overhears a convo between two suspicious dudes talking about sabotaging some delivery. They seemed to planning to become the next lord or something. But Sato was interrupted by Arisa and others who came to pick him up. Guess there's no nighttime fun for him now. The next day as they strolled through the city, Sato's map detected Inanimana being chased by some thugs. So, they rushed there to help, and turns out she's on her way to deliver those 300 vials. Sato ordered Lisa and others to stop the thugs while he's doing the same in background. But all their efforts were in vain cause soon after Inanimana's carriage collided with some carts blocking the road. Most of vials were destroyed, but Sato could recover some in the half-destroyed bottles. Having no choice, they reached out to the Lord Birkins and told the incident, but he's like, deal's a deal, no excuses. But at that moment, Sato picked up their voices and remembered the convo from the other day. Judging by their attitude, Sato realized these guys definitely wanna fail this delivery. Cause they wanna get access to the Forest of Illusion and destroy it to make a town on top of it, so he can be the lord there. But Sato ain't having that. He upped his negotiation skills to the maximum and got M to agree, if they were to deliver the rest of the vial before sundown, the pact should be intact. They gathered up the ingredients, but being the naga as always, Inanimana kept on and on about, even though they made the potion somehow, there won't be vials for M. Those guys had bought all the vials beforehand, this in mind. However, Sato's like, chill out, I've got this. Their next stop was the potter from the other day. Usually, it isn't allowed to make pots like this, but the owner allowed M, realizing they in trouble. Sato assigned Arisa and Mia to help Inanimana with the potions while others worked on vials. As always, Sato cheated through the way, maximizing pottery skills, and made M with perfection, surprising everyone. However, everyone else was struggling and getting nowhere. Then there's another problem. It's true they can make the vials like this somehow, but they gotta dry M out for 5 days at least. Looking for an answer, Sato cracked his brain. He messed around with some magic spells to create a spell that could dry the pots. Mia tried it on the pots and it worked. So the potter is like, we're back in business people, keep it up. They spent hours making the rest of the pots and even managed to put them in the kiln. As they were waiting for it to finish up, lackeys of that annoying lord were right at the scene. They claimed it was illegal to make vials without permission and got ready to destroy the kiln. But Sato acted quickly, and stored the vials in his storage. So the guys destroyed the kiln and went away insulting the gang. Everyone was so depressed over it. I mean everyone except Sato. And he's like, chill everyone, it's all good. Then he borrowed the bird with Inanimana to send a message to the witch. Sato shows Arisa the vials that he was saved, but they started cracking cause he stored them in high temperature state. So once again Sato find himself in a tricky situation. This time he got the idea of using that simple storage spell learned from Arisa. He recalled the experiments from the other day. He noticed unlike his unique storage, in the magic storage spell, the time flows inside. Intending to use that, he dragged one of those into that ordinary magic storage and used wind magic on it. And what do you know, they got a solution to cool M down. By the end of the evening, they finished doing the rest, and delivered M. Birkins and his lackey were like, if you ain't got the goods, just scram. But Sato presented the delivery document for 300 vials, taking them by surprise. They even tried accusing Sato of tricking M, but he just brushed it off. But then Lord just went silent, almost acting like buying time cause it's almost time to sundown. Sato insisted again to sign it, but at that moment the Count Kahano appeared. Berkance freaked out with this sudden turn of events. Turns out the witch told him about this evil scheme thanks to Sato's message. The Count has known the father of Berkance from past, and gave this position to Berkance out of respect to his father. Count declares Berkance is banished from this kingdom, but isn't about to go down without a fight and cast an attack spell on the Count. But unfortunately, he can't hurt the Count in his own domain and the spell just dispersed. The Count Kahano drew his sword to end their lives, but Sato jumped in and kicked them unconscious, stating there's kids present. The next day as they are about to leave, Sato hears that Count promised the potter a new kiln and the priority over all deals in the area. He's like, "Ma life gonna be walk in the park from now on." Witch and Inanimana hand him over a special lamp made by them as well as bestowed upon the Friend of the Witches title on Sato. Alright, once again they're back on the road. The girl's like, "Your wish is my command, master." Back in Zena's town, she got a letter from Sato summarizing some stuff that happened and what they plan to do. Meanwhile, Sato and the gang taking a break from traveling. Lisa and Pochi brought some plants that looks like aloe vera but with a sweet taste like sugarcane. All that juice is on his fingers, so he's like, "Help yourselves girls," and Pochi and Tama hurriedly licking M, while everyone else looking at the scene, flabbergasted. Arisa too jumped on the opportunity but Sato pushed her away. At night, Pochi asked Sato to read M a bedtime story, and Sato's like, "Why not? It's a story about 7 deities control the world, and about the dragon god, the strongest god, and about the demon god who spreads evil. To stop the demon god and demons from reigning over humans, the dragon god bestowed the hero summoning spell on the goddess in charge of this world." By the end of the story, all the kids were asleep like babies. The next morning he woke up to find himself surrounded by all the girls, sleeping next to him. Then he's like, "I can get used to this," but his fun time was interrupted by jealous Arisa and Lisa. Sato heads out ready for another day in his new fantasy. Alright guys, that wraps up my recap, and if you liked what you saw, give a slight tap on that subscribe button and bell icon for more.